All right, I'm back. Giving all praise and glory to the Most High. He's worthy to be praised. So when we look at uh, Romans 10 and 13, now that we know that whosoever is talking about Israel, it says in verse 13 of Romans the 10th chapter, for whosoever of the 12 tribes of Israel shall call upon Bahashama Mashak in the name of the Lord and Savior shall be saved. It say, how then shall they call on him in whom they have not believed? Do you believe it? That a Mashak Abashai, as it tells us in Revelations, the first chapter, in the 14th, 15th, 16th, 14th, 15th verse, that his hair was of wool, and that his feet like unto fine brass that they burned in the furnace, very dark-skinned man? Or do you believe that he's that so-called white image that they set up to represent him? That was drawn in the 1800s. The main one that they look at now, they have now, is drawn in the 1800s by Warner Salmon, making all the money off that picture. This picture here. This dude right here. It's not Caesar Borgia. This picture was drawn by Warner Salmon. Warner Salmon. Yeah. It is what it is. So, it says, how then, verse 14 of Romans the 10th chapter, how then shall they call on him whom they have not believed? And how shall they believe in him in whom they have not heard? How you gonna believe in someone that you ain't even heard? Y'all, a lot of y'all go to these religious organizations, y'all don't know nothing about the real Mashiach Yahushua that walked the earth in the flesh. How then shall they call on him in whom they have not believed? Because y'all believed he was a so-called white man. Well, he wasn't. He ain't had no color. Or y'all heard he was rainbow. All different colors. I mean, he came in the flesh. If I start talking about you in the flesh and how you look, you have a problem with it. But then with him, it don't matter. You're going to make up your own understanding of what you think he looked like. But you mainly have that so-called white image that I just showed you. Most of our people have that in their mind. That's who he is. And that's not who he is. How then shall they call on him in whom they have not believed? And how shall they believe in him of whom they have not heard? And how shall they hear without a preacher? Because the Most High ain't sent these preachers if they ain't teaching the unadulterated truth of this Bible. And how shall they preach except they be sent? Most High ain't sent them. As it is written, how beautiful are the feet of them that preach the gospel of peace and bring glad tidings of good things. Because what's more important than you having this good news of the Most High and of Mashiach Yahushua bringing forth this truth and telling you that you got to keep his laws. If not, then the judgment that's going to be upon you. Look at Ecclesiastes 2nd chapter. And verse 16. Say, they that fear the Most High, Ecclesiastes the 2nd chapter, 16th verse. They that fear the Most High will seek that which is well pleasing unto him. You fear the Most High, you're going to seek what is well pleasing to the Most High. And they that love him shall be filled with the law. You hear that? They that love the Most High shall be filled with the law. Whose laws are they? They're the Most High's laws. They that fear the Most High, this is really important, y'all. Well, I stress that. And we start out with Ecclesiastes 12 and 13 for this. Let us hear the conclusion of the whole matter. Fear the Most High and keep his commandments. They that fear the Most High will prepare their hearts. You're going to prepare your minds and humble their souls in his sight, saying, we will fall into the hands of the Most High and not into the hands of man. or men. For as his majesty is, so is his mercy. And we know mercy is not getting something we do deserve. But you're not going to fall into the hands of the Most High when it tells you in Hebrews 10:31, and you wicked, you evil. He says it's a fearful thing to fall into the hands of the living power. So you ain't going to fall into his hands if you wicked and you evil. But recognize this is serious as can be. But, people want to do how they want to do it because this world say follow your heart. And the Most High said the heart is deceitful above all things and desperately wicked. But see, some of you fit into this category. Let's go to Ecclesiasticus, the 13th chapter. Look at verse 16. That's why I wonder where you at spiritually. It says, all flesh consorteth according to kind, and a man will cleave to his like, somebody that's like them. What fellowship hath the wolf with the lamb? What fellowship have a wolf with the lamb? A wolf go eat up a lamb. So the sinner with the righteous. So the sinner with the righteous. So it's like a wolf being with a lamb. When the righteous is with the sinner. Eat you up. If you ain't filled with the Spirit of the Most High, what agreement is there between the hyena and a dog? And what peace between the rich and the poor? As the wild ass is the lion's prey in the wilderness, a lion running after a wild ass in the wilderness, so the rich eat up the poor. As the proud, rich people are prideful, and those that don't have nothing be prideful. As the proud hate humility. Proud people hate humility. You hear what it's saying? Pride people that's prideful. Remember, it's going to be great miseries in this earth because of great pride in the last days that we living in now. As the proud hate humility, so does the rich abhor or hate the poor. Better hear it. What he's saying. Look at Ecclesiastes 15. He that feareth the Most High will do good. And we know to do good, you're going to keep the Most High's laws and commandments. It says, and he that hath the knowledge of the law shall obtain her. You see? Jump to verse 17. Before man is life and death, and whether him liketh shall be given him. Whatever you like, that's what's going to be given you. That's the only choices you have. You have a choice to choose life or death. And you know what that death is? Be thrown, cast into the lake of fire. Ecclesiastes 19, and we're going to read verse 20. Ecclesiastes 19 and 20. The fear of the Most High is all wisdom. And in all wisdom, which is proper application of knowledge, is the performance of the law. You're going to be performing the law in your life if you call yourself wise, rolling with wisdom. This is so important to see and understand. Look at Proverbs 4 and 7. Proverbs 4 and 7. Wisdom, which is the proper application of knowledge, is the principal thing. Therefore get wisdom, and with all thy getting, get understanding. He said, with all thy getting, get understanding. And that's a lot of, times that we miss out on getting the true understanding. Well, a lot of people can quote this and quote that, but the understanding of how we got to be spiritually, they miss that, which is not good. Look at Luke, the 24th chapter, and verse 44 and 45. Luke 24, verse 44 and 45. And he said unto them, this is Mashiach Shai speaking, when he was on the earth in the flesh, he said, these are the words which I spake unto you while I was yet with you, that all things must be fulfilled, which were written in the law of Moses. That's going all the way back from Genesis to Deuteronomy. And in the prophets, that's all the prophets, from Joshua all the way to Malachi and the Apocrypha, everything in between. And in the Psalms, we went to Psalms, Psalm of David, concerning me. That's concerning him. So you got to find him. I'm not checking Shai. In the law of Moses, remember he said he come in the volume of the book to do the will of the Most High. So you got to find him in the law of Moses and in the prophets. Find him in the Mashiach Yahushai. And once you find him, rather than just looking for him just in the New Testament, as they call it, because you're not going to know him just looking at the New Testament. He said, for lo, I come in the volume of the book to do the will of the Most High. He is the word of the Most High. From a voice come words. He is that angel of the Most High. He is that spirit of the Most High that led us in a cloud by day in the wilderness, in a fiery chariot at night in the wilderness. And when it moved, we moved with it. And when it stopped, we stopped, put up our tents, and we stayed there for 40 years, roaming the wilderness. And we had children. Most I let our children go into the promised land. But you see here, he said, and he said unto them, these are the words which I spake unto you while I was yet with you, that all things must be fulfilled. I mean, future prophecies of these books that he's going to say that he's written in, which were written in the law of Moses. That's first 5 books of the Bible. And in the prophets, all the prophets, and in the Psalms concerning me. So you got to seek him in the volume of the book to know him. But once you seek him, say, then open he their understanding. He opened up their understanding that they might understand the scriptures. Because they didn't understand the scriptures. Not everything. Or else, once he died and rose on the 3rd day and walked the earth for 40 days, they wouldn't have asked this question. That's why this is written for us. That's why this is the highest calling you could be called into. To know what this Bible is talking about. It's written to us. Acts 1 and 6, they would never ask him this question. As he died and rose on the 3rd day, walked the earth for 40 days, they seen him. Just ask him this. When they therefore would come together, Acts 1 and 6, they asked of him, saying, Mashiach, wilt thou at this time that he was walking the earth, in the 40 days that he had walked the earth, at this time, restore again the kingdom to Israel? See, the kingdom coming to Israel, we got next forever and ever and ever. That's what they know. And that's what this Bible talking about. And he said unto them, it is not for you to know the times or the seasons which the Father had put in his own power. Only the Most High know, y'all. He going to tell my circumcised to rise. And when my circumcised is going to rise, he's going to rise and come to judge and make war. And set righteousness on this earth. When we said we all going to be righteous, he's going to teach us how to be righteous. We know in part and prophesy in part now. He's going to make everything whole. The part that we don't know, he's going to make it right. Most High will if we worthy to be there. But he told them, but ye shall receive power. When he tell you see power here, that's spiritual power. When? After that, the Holy Spirit is come upon you. And ye shall be witnesses unto me, both in Jerusalem and in all Judea and Samaria and to the uttermost parts of the earth. You see? So they didn't know. You know. Else they wouldn't have asked him that. Because we hadn't went to the curses in Deuteronomy, the 28th chapter, verse 15, all the way to 68 yet. We hadn't been to those curses. We hadn't been through a lot of things that happened. We're still waiting on certain things to happen. But you see, he opened up their understanding that they might understand the scripture. What scripture they going to understand? Book of Revelations? Paul's writings? Like a lot of y'all believe in, don't understand them. Peter, the book of Peter, 1 Peter, 2 Peter, James, what books he's talking about? That they might understand the scripture. What scriptures? If thou could say. Because all they had was the Old Testament. That's all they had. What we reading here was compiled in 325 AD in the Council of Nicaea, where he brought the pagans in with the Israelites. It's cold. Cold-blooded Israelites. Look at go back to Proverbs 4. Read verse 2. For I give you good doctrine. Forsake ye not my law. Hear that? He said, I give you good doctrine. He said, forsake ye not my law. Proverbs 3:1. My son, forget not my law, but let thine heart keep my commandments. For length of days and long life and peace shall they add to thee. You see? Baruch 4:1. Baruch 4:1. In the Apocrypha. This is the book of the commandments of the Most High, and the law that endureth forever. So we still under the law because the law endureth forever. All they that keep it shall come to life, but such as leave it shall die. That's why I say, tell you got a choice to choose life or death. If you keep the laws of the Most High, you're going to come to everlasting life. That's what Master Abishai said in St. John 14:6. He said, I am the way, the truth, and the life. Right? So what is he saying? I'm the way to show you how to follow the truth, which is the law. When we read Psalms 119:42, that righteousness is an everlasting righteousness, and that law is the truth. So he said, I'm the way to show you how to follow the laws of the Most High, which is the truth. That's going to lead to everlasting life. That's what we're seeing here. See, you got to understand. You can't read the Bible to make it mean whatever you want it to mean. It's clear here. It's got to go along with whatever's been written. That's why I say, the Most High power of our fathers. So who is that? the power of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. He defined himself in Exodus 3:15, 16. You know, Mashiach Shai called him the power of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. We just read in Acts 3:13, we'll say the power of our fathers, the power of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, the power of our fathers. That's how you get understanding. So here it is, he's saying, this book of the commandments of the Most High and the law that endureth forever. All they that keep it shall come to life. You keep the laws, you will come to everlasting life. But such as leave it shall die. That's why I say turn thee. That means change. Be born again. Become a new creature. Become a new man, a new woman. Turn thee, O Jacob, and take hold of it. Take hold of the laws of the Most High. Walk in the presence of the light thereof, that thou mayest be illuminated. You may be illuminated. See, some people, they walk in darkness. They trying to come to the light, but they can't get out of that darkness that they came from. They still in darkness. If you still the same person, you still dealing with the same spirits, same demons, you need an exorcist. Something. You need to really, really look at yourself to be able to look at, man, why am I still dealing with the same thing? This is about change. Most High gotta, look, Most High the one that wound, he that heals, and he'll bring it to you so that, hey, he'll heal you from all the things that you're dealing with. Clean you up. That's what this truth supposed to be doing. That's what you be praying for. You come out of those things that's bothering you, that's messing with you. Fast and pray. Sacrifice something. Sacrifice that food. Sacrifice a lot of things. If the Most High say, you okay? You got to be proven, man. Look, y'all better understand. People don't understand. When people come to this truth, I'll give them these scriptures. Straight up. Ecclesiastes 2:1. My son, if thou come to serve the Most High, prepare thy soul for temptation. Who the tempter? When you come to serve the Most High, say, prepare yourself for the devil, because the devil don't want to let you go. So here comes the devil all the time, coming in and having you think wrong, have you speak wrong, having you act wrong. That's why it tells you in Ecclesiastes 3:24. Here we are. Turn the page. Ecclesiastes 3:24. For many people are deceived by their own vain or worthless opinion, worthless thinking, the thoughts. And in evil, that's the devil, suspicion has overthrown their judgment. They allow the devil come in and make them make the wrong decision or judgment. And like I say, some people, this is their consolation right now. And they're going to be cast into hell. That's why it says, second Ezra 9:22. He says, let the multitude perish then. That's a multitude of people, perish then, which was born in vain. That's following their own vain opinion. They born in vain. So those vain people that's born in vain, go come up with a vain opinion. And the devil gonna make them make the wrong judgment. And let my grape, that's one grape out of a cluster of grapes, be kept in my plant. But with great labor have I made it perfect, you see. Great labor had the Most High made his plant and his grape perfect. Same for everybody. Look at verse 20. Say, so I considered the world, and behold, there was peril. That's danger. Why? Because of the devices that were come into it. All the devices that Satan know he got a short time, he gonna come down on much wrath on those that keep the commandments of the Most High. Those that had a true testimony of Mashiach Yahushua. And I saw and spared it greatly. And have kept me a grape of the cluster. Hear that? That's why many are called, but few are chosen. He said he kept a grape of the cluster and a plant of a great people. That's who we are. That's the Israelites, a great people. That's why, but he said, let the multitude perish then. That's a multitude of people. More people going to die than going to be saved. He said, let the multitude, because 2/3 of our people going to die. Only 1/3 is going to make it. He said, let the multitude perish then, which was born in vain. They made for that number. Can you imagine that? But I understand what he's saying. He said, let the multitude, that's the multitude of people, perish then, which was born in vain. And let my grape be kept, and my plant, for with great labor have I. That's the Most High. That I is the Most High, made it perfect. So he don't want everybody. This is what he say. Verse 31. He say, for behold, 2nd Ezra 9:31. He said, for behold, I sow my law in you, and it shall bring fruit in you, and ye shall be honored in it forever. You hear that? He said you're going to be honored in it forever. Verse 56. For we that have received the law perish by sin, and our heart also which received it, notwithstanding the law perishes not, but remaineth in his force. So all you say we under the law, hear what it say, for we, notwithstanding the law, that's the laws that the Most High wrote with his finger, the work of the Most High perishes not. Remember we just read in Baruch, the law endured forever. That's why it said, notwithstanding the law perishes not, but remaineth in his force. In his force. You're not going to find any way to separate yourself from what it is that the Most High is letting us know here concerning how he feel about his work. That's his law. Look, let's look at 2nd Ezra. You know, I love Ezra. He was given 204 books. We only have 80 as Israelites. But I'll say the majority of us. And so that's 124 more books that Ezra was given that the majority of people don't even have a clue of. So let's look at 2nd Ezra 13 and verse 51. Give an understanding of a parable that was read or told them from one down. It says, then said I, O Most High, that beareth rule, show me this. Wherefore have I seen the man coming up from the midst of the sea? And he said unto me, like as thou can never seek out nor know the things that are in the deep of the sea. You know, we only go so far down into the sea, depth-wise. Even so can no man upon earth see my son, or those that be with him, but in the daytime. That's when he come. We're in the nighttime now. We're in darkness. So you're going to see him, if Most High will, in the daytime, when he come to judge and make war. This is the interpretation of the dream which thou sawest, and whereby thou only art here lightened, to be able to give the understanding. For thou hast forsaken thine own way. You got to hear what he's saying. For thou hast forsaken thine own way, and applied thy diligence unto my law, and sought it. I'll read it again. For thou hast forsaken thine own way. Israel forsook his own way, and applied thy diligence unto my law. Who's the my? Preachers out there? Who's the my? That's the Most High. Ezra applied his diligence unto the Most High's law and sought it. It's powerful. So when he sent Amashai back, to this earth to judge and make war, as it tells us in Revelation 19 and 11. Look at verse 32. And the time shall be when these things shall come to pass, future prophecy, and the signs shall happen which I showed thee before, and then shall my son be declared. That's a Mashiach Yahushua, who's not coming back as a man, as tells us in Isaiah 47 and 3, whom thou sawest as a man ascending. I mean, ascending, like he's talking about in Acts 1 and 9. A man ascending. So he's in the future. This is, Ezra seeing, remember he was given 124 more books than what we have, so we have all this. He was given all this. Acts 1 and 9. And when he had spoken these things, he said, when he spoke these things, while they beheld, he was taken up. That's ascending. And the cloud, which is a chariot, received him out of their sight, right? That's why you look at here, tell me the Apocrypha not coinciding with the Bible. That's why it's saying. Verse 32, 2nd Ezra 13th chapter. And the time shall be when these things shall come to pass. It's the future prophecy. Some action that's going to happen in the future. He's showing Ezra. And the signs shall happen which I showed thee before, and then shall my son be declared, whom thou sawest as a man ascending. He saw Mashiach ascending. As we just read, taken up. That means he ascended up in a cloud, which is a chariot of the Most High. We read Psalms 104 and 3. Proves those chariots are the angels of the Most High that came to get him. And when all the people when all the people hear his voice, when he come, every man shall in their own land lead the battle they have one against another. See, they ready for this. You see wars you say going to be rumors of wars and rumors of wars. They're going to be fighting against each other. They're going to lead the battle that they have one against another. And an innumerable multitude, that's the Army, the Navy, the Marines, the Air Forces of all these nations, shall be gathered together. Going to be gathered together. As thou sawest them, willing to come and to overcome him by fighting. They tell you don't be scared, but yet they're going to fight. But he shall stand upon the top of the Mount Zion. He's going to stand upon the top of the Mount Zion, which is representing the 12 tribes of Israel. And Zion shall come. The 12 tribes of Israel shall come. And shall be showed to all men, being prepared and builded, as we're being prepared and builded now. Like as thou sawest the hill graven without hands. Because there wasn't no hill. It was representing the 12 tribes of Israel. And this my son, this is in the Old Testament. Remember he said he come in the Bible, the book, to do the will of the Most High. He's telling you, hey, Mashiach is right here. This him. And this my son shall rebuke the wicked inventions of those nations. All the ordinances that they have of war, he's going to rebuke all the nations. It didn't say nation, it said nations, because they're going to all be together to fight on Mashiach Yahushua, which for their wicked life are fallen into the tempest, fallen into the fire, and shall lay before them their evil thoughts and the torments wherewith they shall begin to be tormented. So he's going to lay before them the things that he getting ready to do to them. He's going to say, this is what I'm getting ready to do to you. I'm getting ready to torment you like this. Wherewith they shall begin to be tormented, which are like unto a flame, fire. And he shall destroy them without labor by the law. You hear that, preachers? He's going to destroy them without labor by the law, which is like unto fire. And we know the fire is what? Represent. Go to Jeremiah 23 and 29. What's this fire? Is not my word like a fire? Is not my word like as a fire? Said the Most High, and like a hammer that breaketh the rock in pieces. So that go right along with what you see here is 2 Ezra 13 and 38. Tell you, he shall destroy them without labor by the law, which is like unto fire. He gonna be saying the law to them as he killing them, burning them up. Thou shalt not steal. Thou shalt not commit adultery. Like my boy, my late brother Kazakita, he said, they're gonna be burnt crispy. They're gonna be crispy. No, he said, look, 2 Ezra 13, verse 9, it says, and lo, as he saw the violence of the multitude that came, he neither lifted up his hand nor held sword, nor any instrument of war. This is Mashiach Yahushua, y'all. But only I saw that he sent out of his mouth, as it had been a blast of fire, and out of his lips a flaming breath, and out of his tongue he cast out sparks and tempests. And they were all mixed together, the blast of fire, the flaming breath, and the great tempest, and fell with violence upon the multitude which was prepared to fight, and burned them up, every one. That's the Army, the Navy, the Marines, the Air Force of all nations that's going to be coming together to fight on Mashiach Yahushua. Hear what it said? And fell with violence upon the multitude which was prepared to fight, and burned them up every one, so that upon it a sudden of innumerable multitude, nothing was to be perceived, but only dust and smell of smoke. When I saw this, I was afraid. You can imagine all the things Ezra saw. That's why he was saying, woe was me, woe was me. Destruction is me, destruction is me. Who would deliver me in these days? That he's getting all these prophecies on. So, you could think it's not important to keep the Most High's laws if you want to. But we're going to continue to let you know that it is very important. And with that, I say shalom. I hope that was edifying. We're going to continue on edifying the body of Mashiach Yahushua until he come. Most High will. And I'm out. Shalom.